understand. It's just like echoing off this chamber.
Hello? This room always creeps me out. This was like their sunroom.
Not every encounter comes with a monster. Often it begins as a shadow of unease, a strange sound over dark water, a treacherous trail, or a hidden room never meant to be found. It waits breathing in the spaces between what we see and what we fear. When instinct screams that something is wrong, is it just your mind playing tricks or a warning too late? On May 22, 2025, solo adventurer Eleanor Grace documented a trip into Dartmoor, England, that quickly shifted from a peaceful swim into a harrowing psychological ordeal. Her destination was a hidden quarry, a desolate pool of dark, motionless water encased by towering stone walls.
Beautiful grey evening in the middle of Dartmoor. Whilst I was checking out my All Trails app, I came across this place, and it's an old mining quarry. Now, I'm not too sure if it's this one. People have said that it's a very unusual and cool looking place to go for a wild swim. You know me, right? I'm gonna do it. I've brought the stuff with me in my backpack to do that. Yeah, I do think it's down there. I'm gonna check it out anyway. Yeah, this definitely looks quarry-like, doesn't it? What a hidden gem. It's quite eerie, actually. Yeah, I don't... Hello? Hello? Yeah, I don't think that there is anyone else here. It's a little bit cold. It's not too bad, though. There are a lot of tadpoles and everything around me and like little lizardy type things. There's a really, really weird noise coming from up there. I don't know if someone's wild camping and pumping up something, because that's what I can hear. It sounds like that, either that or it's extremely loud, heavy panting. It is pretty eerie when you're on your own. It's getting very cold. I think it's time I get out. That was a bit risky then, trying to keep my towel around me. I did keep hearing that noise, so I don't know what it was. It could have been an animal.
The atmosphere was heavy from the start. Despite an overwhelming sense of unease, Eleanor entered the water, only to be met by a chilling sound echoing from the cliffs above. It was rhythmic and unnatural, resembling heavy, labored breathing or a steady pumping noise. There was no visible source, no hikers, no animals. Only the sound hovering over the water. Terrified by the sensation of being watched, Eleanor scrambled out and attempted to flee. However, the moor turned into a treacherous trap.
Where's the car park? It's in the distance over there. No, how do I get down? Where the hell is the car? Oh God. Ah! Oh. Whoa. I just put my foot in that. I'm gonna try and get over there. They're everywhere. It's the only way there. I'm like checking it all now. Oh my God. This is up to my thighs. Okay, so that's the stream. The car is underneath those trees. Cool. Oh, we're quite late. And I've still got a bit of driving to do. I do not like driving on Dartmoor at night. The amount of animals everywhere, and you have to be extremely careful. It's 11:15. I'm in the car tonight, parked on my dad's driveway. My dad lives on the outskirts of Dartmoor, and I really didn't want to risk parking up there and getting the knock.
She lost her way, repeatedly sinking thigh-deep into freezing bogs. The footage captures her rising panic as she desperately searched for her car in the featureless void. Ultimately, Eleanor reached safety, but was too shaken to carry out her planned camp. She retreated to her father's home nearby, choosing a locked car over the haunting isolation of the moor. This encounter reminds us that instinct often senses what the eyes cannot. When your gut screams that you aren't alone in the deep wild, is it just your mind? Or is something truly watching? Have you ever felt it? Hold on a sec. If you're enjoying this so far, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Let's continue. On June 20th, 2020, the YouTube channel Outdoor Boys documented a family camping trip to a remote, uninhabited island that quickly revealed the unsettling power of a landscape reclaiming itself. What began as a fun outing for Luke, his wife, and their 3 sons soon turned into a series of visceral encounters with a world where human presence had been erased.
Well, guys, you can see this is a very flat island and a very windy island. If it wasn't for this grass, these small piles of sand would blow away. So it's really important to not harm the grass. So we're gonna set up right here, kind of a flat spot with no grass growing. This right here is the best tinfoil dinner ever. For me and Becca, I also have 2 well-seasoned filet mignon steaks here. We're gonna fry those up as well. What do you think, Mom? Is it good?
It's delicious.
All right, I'm gonna start breaking down camp, putting everything away, and as soon as we're done with that, we're gonna go explore that abandoned house over there. And you can see this is part of the old seawall right here. Oh my goodness, look at all these crabs. Thousands and thousands of crabs. You can hear them scurrying. Look at all the crabs.
Yeah, there's a million of them. It feels like a dolph, but now
Yeah.
that must be what.
What is that, like a winnower?
Those look like crabs.
Hey guys, check it out. It's a sink. Check it out, I can see a bunch of outbuildings, and there's a big house with a large chimney over there. I think that's the mansion. All right, there's the big house. There's some more structure.
We have the party in it, the nuevo thing.
Oh, there's so many crabs over here. They're running around. No, it's dangerous. Even I'm not going inside. Pipes on the ceiling.
When it's cold, do I have to go?
Look, there's the house. We're getting close. The house is doing a lot better, isn't it? Look at this. Look at these big wooden pillars. This must have been a beautiful home. Floor is so spongy. Like, this could really drop. This could give way underneath me. Yeah, that's not safe. All right, guys, this is as far in as I go. I don't want to fall into the basement or have the roof fall on me or step on a nail. But that's cool in there.
After a day of camping, they explored deeper inland, met by the haunting rustle of thousands of crabs swarming the brush. This chilling sound was merely a sign of the even darker discovery waiting ahead. They soon stumbled upon a decaying mansion swallowed by overgrowth, its rotted structure a treacherous death trap on the verge of collapse.
All right, we're just gonna eat a quick lunch and we're packing it up and we're out of here. I think if I had a death wish, I could grab on there and kind of shimmy up and try to go up. But yeah, that looks terribly sketchy. Look at this one's got like a concrete bunker on top. All 4 pieces of vertical angle iron are completely eaten through. The only thing keeping this from falling on us right now is those cables. I have no idea what these towers are for. They look like they're for spotting subs from World War II.
On their way back, they decided to visit an old ruin, unaware of how cruel and relentless the passage of time had been. The massive steel watchtower stood as a skeletal wreck, its supports completely eaten away by corrosion and held upright by nothing but thin, straining cables. It was a terrifying structure, looking as though a single gust of wind could send the jagged, rusted metal crashing down on anyone below. Some viewers are fascinated by the sheer power of nature to erase human history so quickly, while others find the decaying ruins and swarming crabs deeply unsettling. It leaves us with a haunting question. When nature fully reclaims a place, how can we tell when it's no longer meant for people to stay? On May 7th, 2025, Wild Bear documented a 24-hour stealth mission within a public forest bordering a British military base. Rather than focusing on survival, Claire treated the high-stakes location as a psychological exercise in remaining entirely undetected. For her, the objective wasn't spectacle, but the quiet challenge of staying present while disappearing into her surroundings.
24 hours starts now. There are people everywhere. Dog walkers, just people out for a walk. I found myself a really well hidden little spot down here. There's loads of dead foliage attached to the trees, which is giving me lots of camouflage. That area is not big enough to put a tent, but I think for my little bivvy, it'll be fine. Yeah, I'm really happy with that. Really stealthy, really nice and well hidden and low profile. I've got to clear a nice area so that I can boil water, all this dry stuff. Of course, you don't want that getting anywhere near your stove, so I've decided to have for my dinner chicken curry and chocolate pudding with chocolate sauce. Oh yeah, actually it smells really nice, really tomatoey. It's 6:30. It does seem to be a little bit quieter in the woods now. There's still people coming along though, so I can't let my guard down. I want to be very careful using light tonight because of where I am, close to an army base. I don't want them thinking there's some kind of weirdo hiding in the woods. I've just bought my little head torch, and I do have my 2 night vision trail cameras as well, so we can use those. I think it's going to be quite cool later. And I've got my Leviathan here in a really thin light bivvy bag, just in case of condensation really, and my big floofy pillow. So I think this is going to be well cozy, and I feel like I'm going to sleep good tonight.
Seeking to disappear, Claire pushed the limits of camouflage by hiding in plain sight. She set up a minimalist bivvy just feet from a military perimeter, using dead bracken and forest debris to vanish into the landscape. Camping so close to the barbed wire fence created a constant, palpable tension, the looming risk of being spotted by a military patrol, even on public land.
So I'm all full up. I'm in my bed now, and I can just start to see the lights from the army base through the trees over there. I was hoping that because of that busy road there, the dogs in this little bit of woods would be kept on leads so they don't run into the road, so that they don't come sniff me out and alert their owners to my presence. Hopefully I don't get busted in the morning. It is 7 o'clock, it's 7 degrees. The woods is actually pretty quiet this morning. I've only heard one doggo so far. Hi. It's okay, it's okay. Hello, hello. Hi. There's quite a lot of people about now. There's been a couple of lovely doggos along, and they were both very kind. They didn't give me away. Hi. Okay, it is 10 o'clock. I think I'm gonna have coffee with whitener and try some of these biscuits. Oh, there's people over there. Right. Brown biscuits, peanut butter. It is 11 o'clock. I've got 1 hour left. I can almost taste the victory. I think I'm going to start putting the rest of my stuff away now and then just lay low for the last hour. So that's me done then. 24 hours undetected in this lovely, stealthy little spot here.
The true test of her stealth, however, came from the ordinary citizens sharing the trail. As the day went on, the threat shifted to the public. Dog walkers passed mere meters away, with some dogs pausing to sniff the air and stare directly at her hiding spot. Claire remained paralyzed in absolute silence. She knew that if a single curious dog dashed into the brush, her entire mission would instantly collapse. Beyond the light-hearted adventure lies a deeper truth about human perception. The fact that people passed inches away without a second glance highlights how easily our attention fails when we don't expect the unusual. Ultimately, it begs the question: how much of the world remains undetected simply because our minds choose not to see it? On August 29, 2020, Uncharted Travel documented a night spent alone inside an abandoned rural home that felt less like a ruin and more like a preserved nightmare. The host, Trent, stepped into a house filled with the rotting remains of a family's life, only to discover that some secrets were never meant to be uncovered.
I finally just got inside here, and there's a lot more brush than I remember. And it looks like this is a nice photo of some ducks or something. Hello? Hello? There's a mouse that just moved under that box. It startled me. And there's, I think, a photo of the mother or one of the daughters. No stove, but the fridge is still here. I believe there's nothing inside. Please don't be smelly. Oh. Okay, that was a mistake. Looks like they had some ducks. Maybe they farmed them, I don't know. And then there's all these cassettes Gordon had that he recorded. But they have very obscure names. Found on Highway 55 or found on Highway 56. I'm here, and I gotta be careful with my light because it looks right out onto the road. This looks like it was a photo of the two sisters. Oh, here's a photo of all four of them. It's probably one of the last photos ever taken. Or one of the few photos taken with all of them. Sad to see that it looks like a little more destroyed than the last time. This room always creeps me out. This was like their sunroom. They turned it into like a makeshift bedroom for someone. This looks like one of many photos Gordon had of animals he'd killed.
This is a Thursday night. It's 7:31. I'm laying here in the alcove bed. I wonder, this is Rec Party. I've got the only condenser microphone up my left ear. Okay, I'm Rick. Oh, it's Rick. No, I don't think anybody goes to another life when they die. You're holding on to the braid. Going various connections through wires. Cords draped around my earlobe.
Old projector slides. You can see this one's like, looks like it's of the moon. It's hard to see. That one looks like it's someone standing in the grass. As you can see, here's more of these collages that Gordon has made of animals he's killed and mutilated here. Very disturbing.
The atmosphere shifts the moment he enters the living quarters, where the objects left behind feel heavy and deliberate. Scattered throughout the shadows are personal artifacts and cryptic recordings that hint at a deeply troubled mind. On the walls, distorted images and altered family photographs suggest a history that someone tried desperately to rewrite or destroy.
Something worth noting here, I noticed this my first time at this house, is this dresser would have been covered with books, but if you look behind it here, it's actually blocking an entrance to an unfinished attic. And on the other side of that attic, right there where you see that pink open door, that's actually a secluded kids' room. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is where I'm going to be sleeping tonight.
The most unsettling discovery waits behind a heavy wardrobe in the attic, a cramped space designed for isolation, and only from the outside. Despite the chilling implications, he decides to settle in for the night.
Looking into the next room here. Oh wow, there's vintage clothing and dresses. Looks like whoever lived in this room was very into fashion. Look at this TV. This Thompson advises, man takes wife for granted. So maybe some old photos and old projector slides. It looks fairly empty, which is a disappointment.
But as darkness deepens, the house begins to wake up. Strange, frantic sounds erupt within the iron pipes, a violent scuttling that echoes through the walls.
Oh my god, there's something living in that pipe. You hear that? Oh my god. I was just packing up my headphones. The pipes just began to shake and right, let's get out of here. Back into my home sweet home. And I think with that, I can now call it a night. I don't know if it's just the storm, because it's picked up a lot out here, but there's like a loud banging sound downstairs. I might have to go check it out. I don't know. It's really hard to sleep in this house. I keep hearing something running around out here. There's nothing. I don't know what it is. It sounds like it's scurrying. So it looks like I'm gonna have to close this door for tonight. 'Cause I don't want raccoon visitors during the night. The outside lock was still working. I could lock myself in here. This house just doesn't want to give me that. The worst part about these alones is not actually going these places, and not like, I have no problem exploring the creepiest depths of each of these places, like tunnels, no problem. Creepy basements, no problem. Oh my god, I'm getting woken up like you don't even understand. It's just like echoing off this chamber. Oh my god, you guys can't see this right now. Put my shoes on. This camera. I hope that wasn't a person. Hello? Okay, so this was that bang you just heard. You know that shelf that was sitting right here that I pushed out of the way that was blocking the entrance to this attic? It just almost took a tumble down the stairs. And it scared the life out of me. How the hell did this thing fall? I thought I gave it enough space on the ledge where it wouldn't have...
The night reaches a breaking point when the massive wardrobe, the only thing blocking the exit, suddenly collapses down the stairs without explanation. Ultimately, the fear here doesn't come from ghosts, but from the evidence of human obsession left in the silence. It leaves us to wonder, if no spirits were present, why was a child-sized room hidden and locked from the outside? When a home is abandoned, does the truth disappear, or do the secrets just get louder? On June 11th, 2023, Trent the Traveler documented a haunting solo camping trip on Colorado's Phantom Canyon Road. Once a 19th century railroad corridor defined by mining disasters and violent labor wars, the road is now a silent dirt track carved into steep cliffs. As darkness settles, the heavy weight of history transforms this scenic route into a corridor of dread.
All right, finally got a fire going. I was worried there for a minute because it started raining and I was worried we wouldn't be able to hang out outside. But thankfully, the rain let up and we're here on this beautiful... So, let's tell some ghost stories. In the 1800s, this area, or this road that we drove in on, used to be a railroad system that connected Florence and Cripple Creek, Colorado. And supposedly in the 1890s, passengers aboard the train were traveling through this canyon and they saw a man walking along the train tracks in prison attire. Supposedly looked like a man that was previously executed. Now, a lot of the people that ended up in the Colorado State Penitentiary down in Canyon City or the jail in Cripple Creek, and they found themselves getting locked up for many reasons like public intoxication, theft, or even murder after a huge labor strike between the miners and the mine owners. These mining companies in this area wanted to increase the workdays without increasing the wages. And a lot of them walked off the job, leaving a lot of these mines to shut down. And that's when these mining companies started bringing in non-union workers to work in these mines so they could stay afloat, and that's when all hell broke loose. There were gunfights, train derailments, purposely collapsed mines with people in them, and at one point, 15 people were killed. Miners even bombed a train depot, killing 13 more non-union workers. But of course, it finally did eventually settle, but it's believed that this whole area between Canyon City, it's all incredibly haunted. And people that come here claim to see ghostly figures that look like prisoners or miners walking among this forest late at night. All by myself here in this forest. I thought I heard something moving over here. Freak, I'm on edge. Of course I am. I'm in a haunted forest, for crying out loud. I am going to put out this fire and go explore a little bit and see if we find or experience anything interesting. So let's go explore.
The unease begins with the chilling realization that he is essentially sleeping on a graveyard, the site of a historic sabotage that once claimed the lives of 15 miners. This heavy atmosphere is suddenly shattered when a piercing sound erupts from the darkness, instantly sharpening his survival instincts as he sits by the campfire. The psychological weight peaks as Trent enters a massive stone tunnel, where the heavy silence of the canyon is suddenly replaced by a sound that defies explanation.
Okay, I think I'm just gonna sit here for a bit and just soak this all in. I think this tunnel is really, really cool. I keep hearing stuff, but I'm like 98% sure it's just the bats making weird noises. You know, something I've been asking myself when doing research about this place, what is it about these old mining towns that makes them so haunted? I know it was the Wild West, so there were a lot of gunfights, a lot of violence. And maybe that's it. In the paranormal community, apparently quartzite, the mineral, holds a lot of paranormal energy. And buildings or towns or places that are built upon large quartzite nodes. And I'm not quite sure the science behind that or why. And that's got me wondering, like, you know, bear with me for a second. Maybe by digging into these mountains and mining all this ore, these tragic events or cause these people to do these bad things, and because there were a lot of like gruesome murders back then too. You know, I don't know if it's my mind playing tricks on me or not, but I definitely just heard singing, like distant singing. Okay, I know for a fact that the camera can pick it up. It is so faint that I'm like struggling to hear it. The sounds bouncing off the tunnel walls or what, but it literally sounds like people singing.
Inside the freezing, stagnant air, a faint, rhythmic singing begins to echo through the passage, leaves him momentarily frozen in the dark. The terror lingers long after he returns to the van, leaving him hypersensitive to every sound. Ultimately, it leaves us with a haunting question. When the sun rises and explains away every shadow, was the danger ever real? Or did the night simply change how we listen? Have you ever felt a place whisper its dark history to you through the silence? On January 16, 2026, the YouTube channel Mark Travels, renowned for its cinematic motorcycle expeditions and deep, reflective narration, documented a journey through the heart of rural Japan. Alongside his friends Chris and V, Mark navigated a landscape of quiet villages and mist-covered mountains. It was a meditative ride, one that felt perfectly under control, until a single stretch road proved just how quickly certainty can vanish. The peaceful rhythm of the ride begins to unravel the moment they turn off the map and into the shadows of a steep, neglected path.
Really gotta love Japan, eh? Wow. Haha. Alright, let's do this. Yeah? You think? Well, we'll find out. Hey, let's try it. I should maybe change the mode into enduro. I think that's just suspension, right? Should be. It's probably a little bit softer. But yeah, street tires. No, but where is the road? I don't think it's a road here. Yeah, but it's very cool. Let's make a photo together. Is she scouting out the way?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to head back. Still worth it though. I knew it! I fucking knew it! Shit.
Despite Mark's careful and calculated movements as he eases downhill at a crawl, the sudden loss of traction causes the bike to drop in a heartbeat, a silent collapse that unfolds far too fast for human reflex to catch.
Sorry bike. I knew it. I kinda fell. I saw it going down here, and then I should have stayed on this side. It had no chance, like, there was no way I could hold it. I guess I smashed up the pannier quite good. Okay, let's pick it up.
Standing up unharmed, Mark discovers the culprit wasn't a lack of skill, but a hidden flaw.
And that not really big damage. Well, one of my first like real falls, I guess, and that with the rental bike. But yeah, we'll be alright. We'll be fine.
Crash?
Yeah, I slipped there. I saw it happening because I noticed that it goes down here. It was on this side, and then just, yeah, with these tires, it's like, I'm okay. Luckily, I walk here. Yeah, like you can see here.
Wonder if we can find that walk.
There's a car coming now. Of course, now there's a car coming. There was no cars the whole time. We're back on the road. Thank God for these crash bars. I'll have to pay for the pannier for sure. But the rest seems fine. My first fall in Japan. I have to be so careful here. I had it again 2 times, like the front, where it's crazy.
This is the last road we'll be on like this, bro.
Yeah, no, it's no worries.
I feel so fucking bad. I'm like, fuck, he's never gonna want to come back.
That just happened.
Okay.
Don't stress, man.
I was super worried.
No, man.
Well, I'm a big brother too, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
but that's okay, man. You see these tires, guys? They're not good anymore. Yeah, I was already talking about it the whole time that these tires feel very slippery. I guess it's because they're very old. Compound gets hard. So yeah, might have not been entirely my fault.
The rental tire was worn and hardened, a ticking clock that finally ran out on the slick mountain grade. The danger wasn't recklessness. It was an unseen limit built into the equipment itself. Later, the gravity of the road is reinforced as they pass an active accident scene, where Japanese police meticulously measure the asphalt, treating the wreckage with the grim seriousness of a crime scene. By evening, a hidden waterfall restores the calm, but the lesson remains. Danger rarely stems from speed, but from the quiet overlap of worn equipment and the false assumption of safety. It leaves us to wonder, when the road feels perfect, what warning signs are we missing? And is the forest's silence a piece to be enjoyed, or a mask for the risks we cannot see? That's all for tonight's video. Which encounter gave you chills? Let us know in the comments below. Got your own experience? We want to hear it. And whatever you do, don't miss what's coming next.